So, hi everyone. First of all, thank you. So, first of all, I want to apologize for my performance. I know this is the stand-up comedy anniversary, and I had prepared a very nice performance for today. It was about love and care and flowers and stuff. It really was. It was really nice. But then it took a turn for some rather nasty stuff that I'm going to say today. And so it's going to be a bit more nastier now. And this is because I've been to hell last week. I have seen hell on earth. In English they call it hell. In German they call it Arbeitsamt, which translates to the employment office. And like the devil itself, it has many names. Some people call it the Arbeitsamt, some people call it Arbeitsagentur, some people call it Agentur für Arbeit. And in English, even in English, I don't know how to call it well. Sometimes I call it the employment office, sometimes I call it the unemployment office. And actually, why isn't this a more suitable name for it? Why don't they call it the unemployment office? Why do they call it the unemployment office? It's like when you're employed, you don't go there. In fact, you need to be unemployed to even know this place exists. And it's not that they can help you to search for a job, but you can also do it yourself, so you don't need them to help you search for a job. Actually, the only thing you need from them is that they get you unemployment money. So it should be called the unemployment office, right? I think so. I guess the reason they call it the employment office is that they really want to make you work to get your unemployment money. Because you get there, and the first person that you meet, they give you a huge list of papers, and they send you to the waiting room, and tell you to wait for someone to call you. And so you're in the waiting room, filling all these papers, and waiting, and then eventually some woman calls you, and she gets them to sit with her, and then you watch her putting what you wrote into the computer. I think that at some point of this process you will think that there's someone here wasting their time doing something that someone else is going to do again, but no, that's perfectly normal. It's perfectly normal. And so the girl is putting everything in the computer. She's asking you questions about your handwriting because she doesn't understand what you wrote there. She's misspelling all of the names that you wrote there. I usually say that it's hard for a German person to pronounce my name, but now they can even write my name correctly. This is ridiculous. And then, so she writes everything, she puts everything on the computer, and then she turns on the printer, and she I don't know what she's doing next. But I do have to explain you the printer process, because this is very important. The printing process. So she sends all the documents to the printer. And while the printer is printing all the documents, she immediately grabs 3 folders of different colors. Then she gets the stapler ready. And then she's waiting with the stapler in her hand for the printer to finish printing. It's like they're gonna be in a gunfight. So she has this stapler so that she can draw the stapler fast when the printer starts printing. And the printing doesn't stop. The printing isn't stopping at all. She's printing, sheets and sheets of paper over and over again. I can see a whole tree being wasted there, just on my files. Just on my files. And I have to say this, that of course that everything here that's being printed is in German. And I don't know German very well, so I'm pretty sure I'm not going to read any of it. So it's a whole tree going to waste. And then the person, the printer eventually stops printing, and the woman grabs the folders and staples everything and puts everything into the folders, and then she explains you what the papers mean. So these 5 forms you have to fill up and bring next week. These 10 forms you have to fill in and bring 2 weeks from now. And this 20-page document you have to read and understand it well. I tell you, being unemployed is a lot of work, really. And what do you get there in the end? More papers to fill in, even more papers to fill in. And another thing, I might be wrong about this, but it seems to me that these people that work at the unemployment office, they like to mock on the people that go there. I think they really like mocking on the unemployed. Sorry. Because this girl, this girl that attended me, she had a smirk on her face the whole time. It was like a evil laugh like this. Especially when she told me that my Portuguese college degree was not acceptable in Germany. It had no agreements. Oh my God, biggest smile on her face I've ever seen. Biggest smile on her face. It's like they're saying, oh, so you have a college degree, right? So what's that worth for you now? Nothing. It was nothing. In the end, they all come here. They all come here. You're just like the rest of them. They're all mine in the end. They're all mine. Ha! So, finally she sent me away. And I think that I'm done with it, but I'm not done with it because my colleague who helped me translate the German says to me, no, we're not going away. We're going to the 2nd floor. Okay, so we get to the 2nd floor and we have more papers to fill and we have to wait for another person. And so we fill the papers and we wait again. And then eventually someone comes in and calls us. And the moment this person hears or notices that my friend is translating everything to me, she turns to me and she proceeds to do the lecture about the importance of speaking German. Because you have to speak German, because you must learn German, because if you don't know German, you don't have a job in Germany anywhere. I'm not saying that she has a point. She hasn't a point because she might have a point. It's not like you can turn the switch on my head and say, no, I know German or I don't. But anyway, the curious thing about this is that although I'm learning German, I don't know German well enough to engage in conversation with people. But I know enough to have understood the whole lecture that this person gave me. I understood the whole thing, and that's really unfortunate because if you didn't understand any of it, you couldn't care less about what she said. Right? She will be talking like that, and we're like, okay, yeah. But if you understand it, you have to care about it, you have to listen to it, and you have to do what she says. Which is really unfortunate. Yeah. So, in the end, she finally sent me away. In the end, after all this, I really think that's something terribly wrong with hell. I mean, hell itself, you know. Because hell, they say that hell is a really red place and with all this fire and lava and well, you are burning for all eternity and everything, and there are devils doing bad stuff to you. I mean, what's the problem with that? We can take this anytime, right? We can take this anytime. Now, if the hell was more like an unemployment office, really, I mean, when you fill papers and you have to wait for someone to attend you, and then you get these papers to the person, and then you get more papers in return to fill in, and you're filling papers for all eternity, I think there would be a lot more nicer people in this world, really. Okay, speaking about these nasty subjects, I got another nasty subject to talk about. I've been to the cinema yesterday. Now, being to the cinema is not as nasty by itself, but there's, I don't know if you have been to the cinema here in Frankfurt. To the Cine Star here in Frankfurt, anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a few of you might have gone there. And when you're going to the cinema, there's always a dreaded moment. A moment you all dread. And you don't remember this because after this you watch the cinema, you watch the movie and you forget about everything. But there's a moment when you're watching the trailers that everyone dreads about, that you all hate this moment. And by you all, I mean me. And this moment is the ice cream break. I hate the ice cream break. I despise the ice cream break. What is the ice cream break? So you go to the movies and you're watching all the trailers, and suddenly in the middle of the trailers comes a commercial about ice creams. And you never see it coming. You never see it coming. They just squeeze it between the other commercials, like out of the blue. And if you've been enough times to the cinema like I did, around the middle of the commercial, you suddenly realize what's going on. And you realize you're screwed. It's really coming. It's that goddamn ice cream break moment that is coming. And so what happens? So the commercial ends, and they close the curtains, and they open the lights, and then some guy crawls out of some hole in the room and starts selling ice cream to people. What's up with this? It's like, I think maybe they forgot to tell this guy that they can sell ice creams outside of the room. I mean, if I wanted an ice cream, I could go outside, buy an ice cream, get back in and watch the trailers. So, but no, they stopped all the trailers to make some people buy ice creams. A friend of mine who was with me yesterday said, okay, you know what this sounds like? This sounds like these guys that go sell ice creams on the beach. And I said, yeah, that's pretty much correct. Except on the beach, they don't shut the whole sea down so that you can buy a stupid ice cream. Right. So, that's it for me. And thank you very much, guys.